No flower scares me. Hey, it's me, Cisco Morris, and here's what's coming up on Gardening with Cisco. We'll show you a tomato that could take some shade. His job was to help New York City landscapes recover from 9/11's devastation. His methods will make your landscape thrive too. We'll whip up a salad that's fresh from the pea patch, and we're in Yakima visiting a cactus garden that's bursting into bloom. All that and more coming up right now on Gardening with Cisco. I'm Cisco Morris.
And I'm Megan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Cisco. Okay, so we have truly snapped this time. We are tired of the rain and the cold and the clouds. We came east of the mountains in search of sun, and I gotta say, what is that?
Do I look cool or what?
It's not, okay. We got a little Cisco on this. We got some, oh, don't tell me Brussels sprouts. You know what? It's not that sunny, my friend. I got this for you, dude. Watch out. We're going to give you a little coat of this, and we're going to have some fun here, okay?
Oh, we are, because we are at the Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens, and you know I love prickly plants. Look at all these cactus in bloom. I love it here.
It is so beautiful. But before we show you around this gorgeous, sunny little cactus desert, we're going to show you a shade lover, and can you believe it? It's a tomato. So we finally arrived at the time where you can put out your tomatoes.
Yeah,
keep your fingers crossed, absolutely. But you're not just going to do any ordinary tomato.
Nope.
You're going to throw a wrench into the works and say, put the baby in the shade?
Well, a friend of mine, a famous master gardener, you know, that's an old-time gardener, had to move into a place with shade. She had no sunny spot. She tried growing this tomato called Stupis.
Stupis. Stupis.
I think it's named after Monsieur Stupis. And this does not need pollination to set fruit. So we got our 1 cup in there.
Okay.
All right.
Now
nicely
we're good to
mixed
plant
up.
this guy.
Okay,
This
we
guy, I
better
don't want
smooth it out really good before we plant this, because
I don't want this guy.
This isn't the only guy going in here.
Of course not.
Because there's one vegetable you could plant in the shade. It's the only one I know of.
I would guess lettuce.
How'd you guess?
Because I got a whole bunch of lettuce right here.
This is a mesclun blend, which is a bunch of different lettuces that are real flavorful.
Merlot leaf lettuce.
Look at that, it's so pretty.
It is, if nothing else,
so
it's pretty.
We can make a real pretty design with this. And we'll be out here harvesting these for a long time, you know.
Well, and in no time, too. It just doesn't take that long.
That's right. That's what I love about this stuff. So, yeah, if you put the red ones in equal spacing, I'll go between you with these other guys.
Okay.
Oh, boy, this is going to be...
But don't forget about me. We got some more.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot here.
I like it.
So I guess I can put them pretty close together. I think we're just about finished. No, with Megan, there's always room for another plant.
Heck yeah. Well, you've got plenty of space here.
Actually, I do. Hey, I think there's room for one there.
Okay, we need it. Yeah.
Okay, but I think now we may have obliterated. Oh, no, there's room for one more.
Now, what are you going to do? Do you need to stake this tomato?
Yeah, I'm going to have to put a great big stake on here. I'm going to wait till it grows a little.
And they'll give the lettuce time to grow and
That's right.
Get out of here.
Yeah, because this is an indeterminate tomato, which means it keeps growing all summer, it keeps producing.
And so they get really big and leggy.
Yeah,
the determinants give you a whole bunch of tomatoes at one time. They don't get quite so, like patio ones.
Patio is exactly the one, and Legend's another famous one.
Okay, good. So yay, we get to plant our tomatoes.
Yeah, so now we got to stick this over in a really shady spot to do the real test here.
I can't wait to see harvest time.
You can't get shadier than this spot right here. So, there's one last thing. Let me show you.
Okay.
So, if you get a cold night, Megan, one last thing.
Put a little blanket?
Yeah, just cover it with some of that row crop cover, and that'll make 4 degrees difference.
That alone.
And that'll keep that tomato in good shape. And, of course, I'll take it off the next day.
Because of this wacky spring we've been having, you just never know. Exactly. Get out there and plant your tomatoes. Yay!
Tomatoes in shade. We're going to do it, I hope.
Again, that tomato was Stupisse. It loves shade, but we always have to go and find out how it did.
Oh la la.
It didn't do well.
Oh, it did horrible, but we had such a bad summer last year.
Okay, you're right. There was no warmth. And
No.
really what a tomato wants is the warmth.
That's right.
So are you trying it again this year?
I'm going to try it again. Never be defeated. That's the rule. Coming up next. This man helped bring the gardens at Battery Park back in New York after 9/11. Find out how he did it.
And later, learn when it's prime time to catch a cactus in bloom in Washington.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the incredible Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens. Oh la la!
Love these flowers, absolutely. Hey, this guy in our next story that you're going to meet was responsible for cleaning up Battery Park City shortly after 9/11. Now, he says the landscapes there survived because, of course, of a lot of hard work, but also an organic approach. Eric T. Fleischer believes in the power of organics, because the landscapes he developed organically in Lower Manhattan's Battery Park City survived 9/11.
It was a very strong landscape. So it had already had about 10 years of organic maintenance that had gone into it at that point.
Henrika Schraven met T. Fleischer in New York just days before September 11th, 2001. He was going to help renovate this baseball field. Then the terrorist attacks changed everything.
To be there at that time was an incredibly intense feeling.
After the attacks, the 36 acres of public park seemed beyond repair.
You can't describe it. You know, it's walking down into the area was completely desolate. And we really didn't know what to do. We started just removing materials.
The dust from the collapsed towers coated everything.
It hardened with the rainfall, and so we were able to take it out with rakes and shovels and bag it up. We removed about 135 tons of debris in 3 weeks.
After actually hand cleaning plants, they used organic materials and compost tea to amend the soil. And life flourished again in Battery Park City.
Interestingly, we had still a very vital landscape due to the fact that before this event, this park had already been managed organically for 10 years, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Over irrigation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since 9/11, T. Fleischer and Henrikas have maintained a friendship based on their shared belief that no matter what size the landscape, you have to pay attention to what's beneath the plant.
But the basic practice is the same. Where's your root systems? Where's your
Right.
nutrient cycling? What are you doing to promote
What is the
all this?
process?
What is the process?
Right.
Plus, T. Fleischer is an internationally recognized expert about how an organic approach can give any landscape both beauty and resilience.
If I'm someone to be looked at in terms of, well, how do organics work? Well, organics work under the most extreme conditions. So if you're looking at the amount of visitation that Battery Park City gets, or the type of events that we have, such as 9/11, and you can do an organic practice under those conditions, you should be able to do them anywhere.
Henrikas Organics provided organic fertilizer to Battery Park after 9/11 to help out in the recovery efforts there, so that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Up next, it's a salad that can only happen in pea season.
And later, is it a rock or a plant?
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe. We're in Yakima at the Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens. This place is so beautiful. Hey, Megan.
What?
If you got your peas in on time and the cold didn't beat the living tweedle out of them, you might just be harvesting peas right now.
And they are so sweet and good.
Yeah.
Well, if you have done that, or perhaps you can find some in the stores, here's what you have to do. Make this incredibly awesome pea salad. Oh, my favorite time of the year. Pick them right out of the garden, baby, and pop a pea. So what else do we, you have all these gorgeous things. We don't really need to do anything.
I know.
Improve on perfection.
Exactly.
Love
We're
it.
just going to gild the lily just a little tiny bit today. We're going to make a mixed pea salad using all the beautiful peas that are in season right now. And then we're going to just add a few little fun ingredients. So these are what you were just snacking on.
Yes.
These are the English peas.
Love it.
And we shelled these. I'll just pop those in there. And then we're going to just really, really lightly blanch those.
Okay.
So we're just going to drain those, and then we'll put them in a little bit of cold water. You definitely want to shock these as quickly as possible. You don't want to, definitely don't want the.
We don't want them to keep cooking.
No, we do not. Well, so we've got a little white wine vinegar.
Okay.
And some salt and a little bit of lemon pepper in there.
Nice.
And some mustard.
Okay.
And just kind of stir that
whole
around,
thing?
and then go for it. Give it a little spark. Little whole grain mustard. And then we'll pour a little extra virgin olive oil in there.
All of it?
Yep, go for it. Oh, and I did put just a pinch of sugar in with the vinegar, just to bring out the, like literally a breath of sugar, just to kind of bring out the sweetness of the peas. I just have to tell you, I love this salad so much. Literally, my mouth is smiling. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to start to add our peas. We got a little bed of arugula here. Okay. So we've got some snow peas. Now, all of these peas I blanched. Okay. Snow peas, you can see, are the little flat ones, and they just have a tiny little bit of pea in them. And then these are sugar snap peas.
Snap peas. Okay.
And what I did with these, Megan, is I cut them in half.
Oh, okay.
And lengthwise, just to give them a nice little shape, and it's kind of a fun little presentation there too. And then we'll add our English peas to that.
Nice. Look at how pretty
that
that
is. I
is.
love all the textures. Love it.
Wow.
Okay, so that in and of itself, is gorgeous. Oh, and we've also got a few little pea leaves there, little pea vines.
Nice.
Yep, and toss those in.
Okay.
This gives it a little
Some
nice
mint.
texture. And some fresh mint leaves.
Yum. Okay.
And then we're going to go a little bit Mediterranean. There's some pistachios.
Ooh, look at that.
Love
Yes.
it. Okay. And I got you some just really quickly seared shallots, just to kind of bring out the sugar in the shallots there. I'm not a huge raw onion fan in salads.
I'm not either.
I don't like them super cooked, so I just threw these in a hot saute pan for a second, really.
Nice.
And then, and of course, peas, bacon. Yes, definitely. This is pure country pork bacon,
my gosh.
pepper bacon, my new favorite bacon.
Oh, I love it.
And then we're going to just dress it lightly. Now, you can mix this ahead of time, but you don't want to put the dressing until right before you're going to serve it. Okay. So go ahead and, I think we can probably use all of that, but add it and we'll see how it looks. We just want to kind of coat it and glisten it up a little bit. There's a lot of bright flavor in this.
Too much dressing.
Yes, exactly. That looks good. What do you think? Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, then we'll stir them up.
Yep. And then we're going to stage that with a few little
baby. Now my mouth's watering.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, yum.
So we're going to do a little composed spring plate. These are sustainably harvested wild shrimp.
Oof.
Okay. Yep. Did those in a little bit of a spicy glaze. And then we'll serve the nice, cool pea salad on the side.
I love it how you say we're just going to do a little bit of this, and then it becomes this elaborate Lindia creation. I love it.
Okay,
Yum.
so now just one last little touch here. And the reason I love to do feta cheese on here is because it gives a little bit of acidity and creaminess that the peas really love,
I do too.
Yes.
The peas and I,
Yeah,
we're one. I'm
the
one
peas.
with the
Okay.
peas.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Woo! Okay. I love this part.
Oh, yum.
Oh my Lord. Oh baby.
Isn't that fun?
Peas are my new best friend.
Yeah.
You were my best friend. Now your peas are. Thank you so
I'm
much.
willing
Oh
to
my.
step aside.
For
Yep.
a pea?
Okay, yep.
Absolutely. Yum. I have never loved peas so much in my life.
You're so
It
lucky.
was so good. The only problem is that the window for the pea season is so short. Is there anything we can do?
Start early and keep planting them. Every 2 weeks, plant some more. You could do that for about a month. Maybe the last ones might be a little too late, but the early ones, you're bound to get them.
Nice idea.
Yeah.
Up next, discover a plant pick that looks like a rock.
And learn why this cactus garden is thriving in Washington. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens in Yakima. This week's plant pick is really cool, Megan. Okay, it evolved to look like a stone, so nothing eats it. Oh la la. It's called a lithop. Lith means stone, op means face.
Stone face?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a cactus, even though it looks like one. It just likes to live in the cactus conditions.
Okay, Megan, we're gonna have some fun. We're planting living rocks.
Wow, these are plants?
Yeah, aren't they the neatest thing you ever saw?
Look at that.
They're called lithops, and they're all sorts of different little things that live in the desert, you know, hardly ever need water. They're weird. Yeah, look, and this one, they bloom. They have a little flower that comes out. That's an old one over the hill. This would be the perfect plant for you because most people murder it by watering it, and I don't have to worry a bit about that with you, you know.
Yes, sir. So you have basically a rock garden.
Yeah, so we want to
started.
arrange these rocks in some cool form.
Okay.
Because we're going to work around
Look
these.
at this
We
guy.
can move them.
That's
Isn't
kind of
that?
a fun
I found
rock.
that walking down a beach one day. What a fossil, huh?
Yeah.
So just, you know, kind of anywhere you want. And I'll tell you what, this is cactus soil that I'm using here.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, if you don't use cactus soil with this,
We don't want
you
the
won't be
same ones
seeing
all over
these.
the place.
No, so yeah, just, you know, because I don't know if we're going to get them all in there. Gosh, some of them are so cool looking, you know.
I'm going to move this rock because of the colors of the rock.
Yeah, no, you got to keep moving things around.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this, you know.
I'm feeling badly for these plants. I think they need a little drink of water right now.
They do, but we'll give them a drink as soon as we plant. But, you know, I've had these things sitting around in my garage all winter without watering them. And look, they're still going strong. Is this the coolest thing you ever saw in your life?
You know, that almost looks like a sea anemone that would come out of the water.
You know what they call it? Purple baby toes. I'll probably fertilize this once during the year. Let's see.
I can't stand it any longer. Here we go.
Maybe we got enough in there already anyway. I don't know how many more we can really cram in. But doesn't that look cool?
It looks, you know what? It's so unique.
It's missing one thing though.
What's that?
I can feel, oh, there it is. We got it.
Triceratops.
Yeah, because this looks like a prehistoric scene right here.
You know what I'm going to do when I go home, since I have a dinosaur-loving 5-year-old? We're planting a rock.
Oh,
a living rock garden. We have so many little dinosaurs. That would be a kick. She could be responsible for watering it because she's just like her mom. I
probably
love it.
swiped that from your house.
Hey, that's where that Triceratops wins. They all have names. Living rocks.
Living rocks. Lithops, they're the coolest thing there ever was. Now, I won't water this again, believe it or not, for probably a couple months.
Oh, my Lord. Well, I'm giving him a little extra then.
Yeah, give them a good treat. They need it. I'll tell you what, they really do need it. But isn't this cute?
It is really cute, and the dinosaur makes him.
Yeah, the dinosaur was the key to the whole thing there. What kind is that again?
Triceratops.
Triceratops. Oh, how did I forget that?
Now, if you'd like to get one of those lithops, you need to check a specialty nursery or come here. I'm telling you, it's a great place to check out at the Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, you know, it's a half acre, and June, early June, is the perfect time to see this. Just explodes into bloom. Ron McKittrick, the guy who started this in 1981, showed me around the garden. So, Ron, why cactus?
Well, when you think about it, where do we live? This is a desert, and in the desert you grow cactus and you grow related plants, and that's why we do it.
When's the best time to visit your garden for the best bloom?
Normally it's around the 1st of May, and it blooms through May and sometimes as far as in the middle of July, depending on when we actually start with the blooms. This year we're 2 weeks behind because of the cold weather, but that's just something that you have to face and deal with.
So what do you have, some ironclad gloves to work on these plants?
Well, you know, people ask me that question all the time, and I tell them, listen, you play with snakes, you're going to get bit, so just deal with it. But there is a trick. If you're going to wear gloves, then I suggest something like these. These are not cast iron or anything like that, but they will keep some of the spines from going through. But your best weapon are the barbecue tongs. This is what you handle them with. This is what the smart people use to handle them.
What's your favorite thing about growing cactus?
Well, over the years, my favorite things have changed over the years, but right now I think for me, the greatest satisfaction I have is in sharing this gardens with other people and seeing their responses to it, because they get so excited when they see what the possibility, what they can do in their yard and in their garden.
So this is the time of year you want to come visit Yakima, escape from all that doggone rain and cold in Seattle, and come visit the Hillside Desert Botanical Gardens and see all these great plants in bloom.
They are so beautiful. If you would like to make the trip, we will put a link on our website. Of course, anything else you want to know about the show, just log on, king5.com, gardening with Ciscoe.
So visit a beautiful cactus garden and make friends with a cactus. I'm
look at
taking
the
this baby
blooms.
home
I
with me.
love
Megan.
it.
He sells them here. Oh la la.
Thanks for watching,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.